Diff building and diff maintenance on your Cougar SV is vital to the running of your car. Now I'm going to show you how I build the diffs for my Cougar SV. Make sure you have all the bits as per the manual. The first step to assembling your diff is to assemble the thrust race correctly. Is to place a smaller washer on top of the screw, like so. Make sure you apply a small amount of black grease around the washer and make sure you apply this evenly. After that, place the thrust bearing itself on top of the screw until it fits neatly and snugly. Again, apply some more black grease to the top of the thrust race to make sure that when the top washer goes on, this too moves freely. Finally, place the larger washer with the groove down on top of the thrust race until the assembly fits to the bottom. The next step to building your diff is to install the disc springs. Make sure you assemble these as per manual with the bottom spring facing downwards. Once these are stacked as shown, insert the screw through them. You should have all the washers assembled correctly so this can drop straight into the female outdrive. But first, you need to install the top hat as shown. This stops the screw dropping straight through the female outdrive. When the top hat is installed, take the screw and drop it into the female outdrive. A team tip is to make sure that you widen the circlet first before installing, to make sure that when it does get installed, it doesn't go too narrow and allow the circlet to move in the diff. Make sure that you install it with the radius edge down. Once installed, check that the circlip itself fits tight into the diff valve by pushing it in with an Allen driver. If it's at the correct tightness, you shouldn't be able to move the circlip around. Dipping your finger into the diff loop and then going the entire way around the outdrive, applying an even base across there. Once this is done, install the diff washer on top and complete the same movement again on top of the diff washer. Apply a small amount of diff lube onto my finger and then go around the inside of the gear itself. To put the diff balls into the diff pulley, I'd have a small amount of lube onto my finger, press them onto the ball so that it sticks, and then slowly wipe my hand across onto the diff gear itself. Once placed on top of the diff gear, I then use a small 1.5 Allen driver to put the diff balls into place on the pulley. When completed, your diff pulley should look like this. The next stage to your diff assembly is to complete the male outdrive section. To do this, consult the manual and make sure that you apply the bearings and the washers in the correct order. To begin with, apply the first small washer onto the male outdrive, followed by the bearing, second washer, and the final bearing. After that, get the completed pulley with diff balls in and apply this to the top of the male outdrive. Once the male section of the outdrive is complete, take the female outdrive that you prepared earlier and place on top of the outdrive until it slots neatly on top. Take a 2mm Allen driver and then tighten the screw right up until the actual diff is tight and the screw bites. Make sure that you back it off around a quarter of a turn before adding the small locking grub screw. Tighten this right up until it bites tight onto the screw itself, ensuring that your diff remains tight whilst using it.